Pause and reset. This first step is the most crucial one, the game changer that will decide whether you react emotionally and irrationally or respond meaningfully to your toddler's tantrum. For this, you will need to train yourself that when your toddler pushes your buttons, you turn around and push the pause button. It's not easy, but you get better at it as you practice. I know you're thinking, okay, when my toddler is wailing and screeching for one more chocolate, you want me to pause? You mean I should do nothing? No, not really. By now, I'm sure you know that by crying and wailing for one more chocolate, your child is not intentionally trying to give you a hard time. She loves you more. She feels worse about herself for acting like this. What she's really saying with her tantrum is, I need you. And you can be present fully for her only when you're calm. So here's how you get to calm yourself in two simple steps as you pause. First, freeze and breathe. Then accept and change. When your toddler pushes your button, step one, just freeze and breathe. Remember, in your natural stress response, your lower brain prompts you to fight, take flight, or freeze. Freeze is also an option, right? Deliberately, consciously choose freeze. Say it out loud to yourself if you have to. Freeze. And by freeze, I mean zip your lip and stop your body. Actually, doing the motion of zipping your lip and holding on to a surface or sitting down will help you practice this easily, especially in the beginning when these responses are new for you and your brain. Now, breathe. When you're anxious or tense, notice that you will be taking quick, shallow breaths. To help yourself calm down, take slow, deep breaths. Take as many deep breaths as you need to feel calm. 10 deep breaths is a good number. Breathing consciously is a scientifically proven way to calm down your nerves, and focusing on your breath as you breathe is a way to recenter yourself, to become more mindful of the present moment. And that's exactly how you need to be if your goal is to help your child feel calm and become more mindful. As you're breathing in the pause, you're ready for step two, accept and change. Your child's behavior has triggered you in this moment, and that trigger will naturally cause your mind and body to feel a certain way, very quickly and very subconsciously. As you breathe, first notice and accept how your body and mind is reacting. I want to emphasize noticing your body because a lot of the emotions we feel start in our body. You'd possibly be feeling angry and frustrated, and you can feel that in your body as probably a weight on your chest or a tingling in your body, or your face becomes warmer, or your shoulders and arms start feeling tense. You wish you weren't feeling this way. I understand. The thoughts that could be racing through your head would sound like, not again. I don't have time for this right now. Why is she doing this to me? Why can't she just listen to me and obey? What am I doing wrong that she's having a tantrum again? You don't want these thoughts. You wish you could change them. But the first step to changing anything is to accept. Let me repeat that and let that sink. The first step to changing anything is to first accept it as it is. So as you freeze and you're consciously breathing, you'll accept your feelings and let it go. You say in your mind or out loud if you can, I'm feeling angry, irritated, frustrated right now. That's okay. It's natural to feel this way when my child is upset. Even though I'm experiencing these intense feelings, I accept myself and honor how I feel. I give myself permission to relax. All this tension in my body, these feelings, it's so hard to relax. I wonder why I'm feeling so strongly. Maybe I can listen to my body. It's safe to have these feelings and to address them and to let it go. I choose to breathe and relax, to release this tension from my body, and maybe now I can begin to feel better. You don't have to say all of this. It's great if you can, but pick and stick to what helps you feel better in the moment. The goal is to truly acknowledge and accept how you're feeling in that moment. When you acknowledge the negative emotions, you begin to let them go. Remember, like I said, most of our emotions begin in our body first. These bodily sensations that you might be experiencing send a message to your brain, which in turn sends out more stress responses into your body. Your brain and body are a complete loop. So, calming the body will calm your mind, and calming your mind will calm your body. Let's look at how you can do that. Once you've accepted your thoughts and feelings as they are, you are now ready to change them. You are now ready to change the state of your mind and the state of your body. Yes, you can consciously rewire your brain. You can consciously change how your mind thinks and how your body feels. That's the power that resides within you. Let me show you how you can change the state of your body first. From feeling intense and tight in your muscles, heart racing and body feeling hot or warm, to feeling relaxed and calm. Here's few things that you can do as you breathe. Smile on purpose. It tells your brain everything is under control and that it can calm down. If you had to do just one thing, do this to feel better whenever you are stressed. 2. Shake your hands to release the inner pressure you're experiencing, or splash cold water on your face, or wipe your face with a damp cloth. Touch something soft, not like a squeezy ball, but soft like a soft toy. See a heartwarming picture of you and your child, or smell a favorite scent. It could be a cookie, or a lavender, or a perfume. Choose a scent that relaxes you. Taste or munch on something you cherish, like a cookie or a candy. Hum a favorite tune that relaxes you. Notice how we are involving all your senses and moving your body from a state of hype to a state of calm. You don't have to do all of it. You can try a few things in different situations and stick to what helps you calm down most easily and quickly. A handy tip is to have a calm box with some of these calming elements or reminders in them that you can quickly turn to when you feel triggered. Next and most important, what can you do to change the state of your mind? You can consciously choose your thoughts and you say to yourself, "Thank you for keeping me safe, my brain. I've got this though. This is not a threat. This is my child whom I love so dearly and she needs my help right now. My child needs my love most when she's at her worst. I cannot control her behavior, but I can control mine, and so I will. I can handle this, and I choose love. And I'm going to, and I clearly say what I'm going to do, which I'll explain in the step of secure connection. Once again, you don't have to say all of this, although it's great if you do. Plus, you don't have to remember all of this. At the end of this module, you will find helpful printables that you can print and put them up on your fridge or your mirror so you can quickly go back to them when you feel triggered. Once you've practiced this enough number of times, you can fly solo like a pro without any help. So let's just quickly recap these 2 steps you'll follow as you take the pause. So you will get a clearer picture about how to go about it exactly. So you said no to one more chocolate and your toddler crashed to the ground, wailing and flinging his arms and legs. That's your cue, the signal that says you need to pause. So first, you will make sure your child is safe wherever she is. Drop some pillows around him if you have to, and then freeze and breathe. You zip your lip and stop your body by holding onto a surface or just sit down. Then you take 10 deep breaths, and as you breathe, you notice the sensations in your body. You notice your feelings and your thoughts. You accept those feelings and thoughts by saying, "I'm feeling upset seeing my child like this. That's okay. It's natural and normal to feel like this. I accept myself and it's safe to release this tension that I'm feeling. It's safe to relax." And then change the state of your body. While saying that, you also work on changing the state of your body by shaking your hands or touching something soft or seeing a favorite picture of your child on the fridge. to awaken and kindle the empathy and love that's deep within you. As you do that, you change your state of mind. By consciously saying your mantras, this is not a threat. This is my child who needs my help. I love him and I'm going to help him now. So when there's a trigger, you freeze, breathe, accept and change. Sounds like a plan to go from chaos to calm within yourself? How much time do you think this takes? A few minutes? Right. A few minutes, but on a good day. Actually, how quickly you'll be able to go from chaos to calm really depends on where you are on this scale. The closer you are to the surface, the easier and faster you can reach a state of calm as you pause. If you're at level 3, just ready to explore, the pause is not the solution you need. You will need a time out for yourself, meaning you will tell your child, I'm too angry to talk right now. I'm going to take some time out to calm down. Hand your child to another caregiver or stay safely away from them if you're the only one with them at the moment. Level 3 is a sign that you've allowed a lot of frustrations to pent up throughout the day or week, and your toddler just happened to pull the trigger. If you don't consciously stop here at level 3, you can be sure you'll explode like this volcano and end up yelling, hitting, or doing something that you'll feel guilty for later. At the end of this module, you'll find this imagery as a printable so you can quickly check on yourself and decide the course of action that you need. For now, this is how you pause and reset your brain and body by putting a lid on your lower brain's reaction and inviting your higher brain capacities to take the next step, that is, A, assess the hidden need. We'll learn more about it in the next lesson.